Hey everybody, it's Christy at Hooks and Horseshoes. Thank you so much for stopping by. It has been a minute, about 3 months since I've last posted anything. But today I want to share with you my latest Hooked on Sunshine creation. I started this blanket in April of this year and finished it up in August. It's called Fairytales. It's called I don't think it's the Fairytales, but it's the title on the pattern is called Fairytales. So I started this, like I said, in April, finished it up in August. I feel like the reason it took so long was I just didn't work on it daily or even sometimes weekly. I mean, like a week or so would go past before I'd pick it back up. It wasn't that difficult this time around. I know this pattern is also, or the creator of this pattern is also the creator that of my doodad. She created or wrote up the doodad that I showed and shared and talked about in 2022. And I'll try to remember to link that video down below if you want to go check that out. But that was the doodad, and this blanket is nowhere near the same size. I feel like maybe it wasn't as... Obviously, it wasn't as complicated. I had a better handle on things this time around. And so, but yeah, anyway, I just kind of wanted to share it with you, talk about it, and just explain my process and how I did certain things, because some things I didn't do and some things I did do, or whatever. Yeah. Okay, sorry. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I made a video. I've started this several times. I haven't been happy, so I'll delete and start again, and I'll delete and start again. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to get on here and talk. I mean, that's what this is supposed to be about. Okay, the Fairytales blanket. I have it here. It is, I used Lion Brand Mandala. Let me find the colorway. I didn't write that down. It's Dragon, I believe is what it's called. Yeah. I used the... Actually, I think I have one. Hold on. Let me get back to it. And I'm going to explain that too. Let me... Okay. I don't know if I'll delete that or not. Okay, so I do have one here. I had, I think, 5 cakes of it. Nope, this is Phoenix. Not Phoenix, but this is not it, I don't think. Or is it? Yeah. I don't know why I thought... You're discovering something with me. This says it's this, but that is not what I have on my Ravelry. You know, and I probably do have the ball bands somewhere in yonder, because I've been keeping my ball bands. Do I want to go look? Okay, so it's either Dragon, colorway Dragon. I mean, I don't think y'all can see this, but it's really, really similar. I'm wondering, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's either this one or Dragon. But y'all, I could have sworn. Okay. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I think I'm just going to move forward, and maybe I'll put some information. I'll put some information in the description box or along the bottom of the screen when I go to edit it, because I'm going to have to edit. All right, so that kind of distracted me. I thought it was this one. Anyway. Let me put my fireplace back up. Okay, we're just going to move on, and I'll find out what I did. I'll have to go look for the ball bands and see if I just got the colorway mixed up. Okay, Fairytales by Hooked on Sunshine. First, I want to say that if anybody works on her patterns and you have any issues, their Facebook group is absolutely amazing. I mean, top notch. I had a question during the process of making mine. Took a picture, or maybe it was an exclamation and a picture. I think it was a picture too. And I mean, they were able to help me and help me understand what was wrong, what I needed to do, and I fixed it from there on out. It was, you know, I was like, okay, good, I got it. And I made those, I put notes in my Ravelry because I still use Ravelry quite a bit. But I have notes in my Ravelry of my process of making the blanket. Let's go ahead and just show you the blanket. It's right here. I don't think I weaved in the very end because I had contemplated continuing on. But this is the Fairytales blanket by Hooked on Sunshine. I paid for the pattern. It's a paid for pattern. I bought it. I didn't mind spending the money. To me, it's well worth it. You get a printable version that doesn't have pictures. It's just all pattern, and then you get a version of the pattern that is loaded with pictures and shows you how to make certain stitches. Very thorough, I will say that. But this is, and like most of her patterns, is you start with a center and then you just do repeats around and around. And I feel like I stopped because I only had so many cakes of this colorway, and you have to stop at, you have the option to stop in 2 locations, and I wasn't sure that one more cake would get me to either one, so I just kind of stopped. But I didn't weave in that end, so I guess I could always pick it back up. But yeah, I love the blanket. It's more like a baby size, I guess you'd say. It's not, like I said, it's nowhere big as my doodad. I've washed it. It turns out it's very soft. The yarn is extremely soft. Just giving you a close-up of the stitches. I had fun making it. I'm already making plans to make more. I've got several of her patterns, and I really enjoy working on them. Even though they can be time consuming and you have to pay attention, you have to keep your numbers right. I've really enjoyed making them. I love the end product. So with this particular pattern, you have, I think it's kind of, it's called, I think it's Hooked on Grannies is another, it's kind of like a 2-in-1 type thing, I feel like, if I've understood what I've read. You have the option to pick, of course that would fall. Sorry. You have the option to pick the center square. There's several different squares that you can pick from. I do feel like the center of mine, it's a little wonky. You can see how it's not exactly flat. That could be my tension. But so you pick your center square, and you've got several options to choose from. And I don't know if you have access to all of them, or you have to purchase the other squares, but this one came with the pattern, so I went with this one. And being that this, to me, these colors are kind of more on the masculine side, I didn't want anything too frilly, so this is the square that I went with. And then you just do, once you get the square made, then you start your repeats, and they just go round and round. I keep all of her patterns, I keep in a binder or a folder, a thick folder, and I put them in plastic sleeves. So just, you know, to protect it. But this is the Fairytales blanket, or the start of it. Yeah, this is Vanessa Smith. And like I said, y'all, the Facebook group, if you ever work on any of her patterns and you come across something you don't understand or you have a question, you go to that Facebook group and they are on top of it. I promise you, they are on top of it. But like I said, so I think I'm okay to share. But here are some of the squares that you can pick from. But like I said, I picked the Delilah. And like I said, it come with the pattern. I can't remember if all of them come with the pattern or if you have to go to the Hooked on Grannies collection to get the rest. I feel like you might have to. Because there's several. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 squares you can pick from. And like I said, I didn't print the whole pattern out. I only, like the stitch stuff, I didn't print out like different pictures. That like, this is where she shows you how to do different stitches. I didn't print all that out. I did print out the abbreviations for the stitches. And like there's a bunch, yeah, so this might have a bunch of the pictures in there because that's one's fairly thick. There's more than one paper in there. When I print my patterns out, I try to do front to back so I don't waste paper. So this only, like, there's a writing on the front, writing on the back, and it's only one page. But yeah, so I keep all my stuff in here like this. I've got, I don't know, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 6 or 7 of her patterns. I've made several of them. The Doodad, this one, and the Blair. I believe it's called the Blair. No, something Rose. I will put that in the description box below as well. And I can link my Ravelry because I try to post all my completed projects on my Ravelry account. I find it convenient. And just, you know, it's easy to do. I can do it on my phone. I can do it, you know, here at home. So, okay. So I wanted to kind of cover some of the things that I did differently. I wrote them down. Okay. So I'm a stickler for, that's why I like these not variegated, but the self-striping yarn. I don't like binding off or fastening off. I would rather just go round and round and round, use up as much of the yarn as I can. Well, there's several times in the repeat that it asks you to fasten off or bind off. I don't know if it's, I know it's at least twice, and it might be 3 times. I can't remember. I found a way to only have to bind off once because I didn't want to have to worry about weaving in all those ends and everything. So I found a way to just bind off once, I mean cutting the yarn. And so that made it a little bit easier for me. So I talked about, okay. And there were rounds in here where it's calling for surface slip stitching. I didn't do those at all. And, yeah, I asked them about the surface slip stitching. Again, I went to the Facebook group and asked them about the surface slip stitching, and they said it's not something you have to do. It just kind of adds a little bit more pizzazz to the blanket, and I chose not to. So there's some rounds that I didn't do at all. Let me see. I've got more notes on my Ravelry. Let me see if yeah. That kind of bothers me about that colorway, y'all. I could have sworn it was dragon. I think that's one of the reasons I had gotten the yarn, because anyway, let's not worry about it. Yeah. Okay, I think I've covered everything, and it's not a very long. I feel like I've covered everything that I wanted to cover about the blanket. I mean, I've had people reach out to me about the doodad, and it's been so long. I just could not. There's no way. I'd have to actually be working the pattern in order to help, you know, be able to answer any questions. But like I said before, this is what, the 3rd or 4th time about the Facebook group. If you ever have any questions and you're working on one of these patterns, just go to the Facebook group. You will get help, I promise. They are so good about it. But yeah, this is my fairies blanket, and I'm really happy with it, and I look forward to making more. I've already got another I think Lion brand works well for this. I'm sure there's other brands of yarn that works well for these type of blankets, but this is particularly, this is what I've done majority of my Hooked on Sunshine blankets out of, is the Lion brand mandala. Whew. I do have another colorway. Let me get it real quick. And I really love this colorway, and I've got like, sorry, I'm talking as I walk away and I'm thinking they probably can't even hear me. I had this once before. When I first started crocheting, I came across this yarn. I don't remember if I bought it or if it was gifted to me. But this is Lion brand mandala, and the colorway is Thunderbird. I love this. My, I guess, first substantial project when I first started was in this yarn, and it was the virus blanket, and it turned out so pretty. But I think I've got like 11 cakes of these, y'all. 11 cakes, and then, you know, these things, that's a lot of yarn. What is it? I'm trying to find 590 yards times 11. And I want to do a Hooked on Sunshine blanket with this yarn. So if anybody is familiar with Hooked on Sunshine, what pattern would you do this blanket in? No. What pattern would you use this yarn for? I promise y'all. I guess it's just because it's been so long since I've actually filmed and created anything. I just feel like I'm just rambling and not making any sense. But yeah, so just if you've done any of her blankets or familiar with any of her patterns and stuff, just let me know if you have any thoughts about which pattern I should use this yarn for. 11 skeins. That is a lot. And when I get it done, it's going to be for me, so it's going to be my blanket. But I'm kind of itching to start here soon, so we'll see. All right, y'all. I think that's all I got for now. Future me, y'all. I'm going to drop this in here real quick. The whole cake thing bothered me. I'm not going to put it in the description box. I just said I'm just going to make an extra part of the video. This is not the same yarn that this is, apparently. It looks like it is. As far as, okay, so I looked it up online. This is Dragon. I know you can't see. And then this is this one, Finks. I don't know if that's how you say it. Finks, maybe. I mean, Dragon, Finks, but look how similar. Like even the dark blue right there. And also I found the ball bands. So here's the ball bands. I had 4 cakes of the mandala, and they're all Dragon. Can't see. Dragon. So I'm not going crazy. I'm not going crazy. So that's that's a comfort. Although sometimes I wonder these days. Dragon, and the other one is not Dragon. It's Finks, if I'm saying it right. All right, so I just wanted to update you. I'm not going crazy, and obviously there are 2 different yarns. This is the Dragon, this is the Finks. You can see the difference on the screen, but I mean, putting that cake up to here, I mean, you know. All right, thank y'all. I appreciate you being here. I really do. If you have any questions, you can reach out and ask me, and I'll answer if I can. But like I said, You know, it's been a few months since I worked on it. All right. We'll see you next time and hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.